let's take a look at two Laserdisc players. Both of them have some very cool and unique features. Pioneer was just amazing at coming up with cool factors that made you want to buy their products. But these two have some unique features. This guy here was made in 1991. He is the CLD M90. Over here we have the CLD D406. This unit was made in 1996. So we're talking like the year that DVD came along and just destroyed Laserdisc as a format. But again, both of these units have some cool features and I want to show them to you. This particular unit here has a 5-disc CD changer in it, which is really neat. And it's got this cool robot arm that moves around and grabs the discs and plays them. Very, very cool. This guy here plays both sides of a Laserdisc, and it also offers AC3 RF output for those 5.1 channel Dolby Digital Laserdiscs. It will also output DTS audio through its optical audio port on the back. So what kind of media can you play on these Laserdiscs? Well, of course, you can play Laserdiscs on a Laserdisc player. Right here you see on your screen a 12-inch and an 8-inch disc right there. You can also play CD3, the 3-inch CDs that were available for a short period of time until everyone got them stuck in their car stereos and got angry. And so they just didn't do that anymore. This unit will also play CD video discs, which contain 1 music video and 4 tracks of audio. It'll also play in the same family a video single disc like this Terminator 2 teaser and trailer. Then, of course, it will play compact music discs, and I have some random ones from my collection here that we're going to throw in there and watch them pick up. A couple of things to note before we throw the disc in. This particular unit, even though it outputs AC3, it does it through like some kind of a RF signal type deal. So you will need a decoder still, even if you have the AC3 output on your Laserdisc player. Your average everyday Pioneer receiver or other brand is not going to pick this up unless that receiver came out about the same time and has the AC3 input on the back. Otherwise, a decoder exists in between the player and a modern day receiver, which is kind of a pain, and I think it was a pain for most people. But once you have it, it's really cool. The other thing is both of these machines required a little bit of maintenance to get them rolling again. Now this particular one had some kind of a set screw that needed to be adjusted. Let me see if I can show you that here. So right inside here, I believe it's right there, this particular screw was originally held down with Loctite, and I guess in all of its years of being banged around, that Loctite broke loose. So once you get that just adjusted, like the height adjustment setting again, the unit will take off and run like it should. This particular guy over here had a bad belt, loading machine belt, and that particular belt is located in a very strange spot. It is right there. Can you see it? See that white wheel right there? So it's a little funky to get in there and replace that belt. But once you do, the mechanism should start behaving itself. But I've noticed on this one, it's a little bit weak. I think maybe there's a problem with the motor, like the old motor is not very strong. So, all right, so let's go ahead and, oh, this is kind of cool too. You have this little drawer in the middle here that if you just wanted to play a CD, you just hit this. And this little tiny drawer comes out. Isn't that just perfect? And you can put your CD3 in the middle here and play that. Or put your 5-inch CD on the outer part of that ring there. All right, so let's go ahead and put that in there. And then let's hit the Laserdisc eject here. And one of the things that's interesting about this player, it has digital video processing. So it actually has a built-in time-based corrector to clean up the video. and it actually does a really good job. It almost makes the image look like it's been sharpened a bit, and I'll play you guys a difference in picture quality on both of these before we're done here today, just so you know which one has the better picture quality. All right, so we're throwing in the disc. I'm going to hit my close button here. All right, so if I look at my display here, it says, oh, there's a Laserdisc. Then I can go ahead and hit play, which is right here. Boop. And looks like we've got a nice warped disc here. It's going to be super noisy. All right, so right now the laser is on the underside of this disc. So if I was to hit the B button, so we're playing side A right now, if I hit the B button, watch this insanity. The disc now spins in reverse, and our laser is now on top of this carriage. So it's a little bit quicker than the one I've seen in the past, because the laser actually did this weird somersault type flip thing, and this one just very easily runs across that track very smoothly. Let's go back to side A again, just for fun. And there we are, playing side A again. And you can see here on the front panel, this is a CAV disc, so it's giving me frames rather than hours, minutes, and seconds. All right, so that's the coolness of this guy. So I'm going to go ahead and hit stop. Yep, disc is definitely a little warped. All right, so now let's load some CDs in this one. Let's go ahead, and this one doesn't have that little center drawer to load things into, but I can go ahead and load. Let's go with these. I can put that one there. I can put my little CD3 there, my other little CD3 here. I can put my Terminator 2 VSD here, video single disc, and I'm going to need one more. How about Michael Bublé? Michael Bublé. Bublé. Throw him right there. All right, and we'll close her up. See here on the display. All right, and then let's say I want to pick up disc 1, which is going to be right here. So I'm going to go to the front here, and I'm just going to press 1. All right, here we go. And the unit goes completely insane. And now I have an image up here on my TV. And you can see me in the reflection as well. Okay, so let's go ahead and switch to number 2. All right, don't want to get in trouble with the copyright police, so I'll go ahead and stop that one. Let's see if we can see a little bit of this action going on from a different angle here. Spin you around a little bit. All right, that's a pretty good angle right there. Let's go for this disc right here. That's going to be disc 5. And nice upright bass going on there. Picks up the disc, puts it back in its little spot, and it stays ready to do something else here. So you can see your our laser is right there, kind of in the dark. You can see the little white ring about right there with my finger. So that's our laser pickup. So a very cool deal here. Kind of look at that from the top view here. Let's grab that first disc again. And because it's playing video, it speeds up to an incredibly high rate of speed in order to produce video and audio, which is analog video and digital audio from that particular disc, which is very, very cool. And once I hit eject over here, opens up and you can see all of the discs there in the tray. All right, let's look at some of the jacks on the backs of these, shall we? And once again, we're looking at the CLD-D406. It does have this large protruding box coming out of the back, as you can see there. Over here on the left, we have our AC3 RF output. We have two video outputs, a mono audio output there for a DC powered VHF adapter. So if you wanted to hook this through your TV and play it through channel 3 or 4, you would need a little extra module to plug in right there, but it has the capability. We have two audio outputs, RCA, left and right, 1 and 2. We have our optical digital output. Now with DTS, you don't need a decoder. So you could plug this straight in to your modern amplifier like my Pioneer over here. Plug it in and you'll get DTS audio without any other type of decoder needed. If only Dolby Digital had done the same thing. That'd be so cool. Over here, now this is an interesting item here. Excuse the little piece of fuzz there. This is the AC-in plug, and that's kind of new for Pioneer, at least to my knowledge. Most of mine in the past just have a cord coming out of the back, but this one has a replaceable cord, and you can see the plug for it right there. Very, very nice. Now let's move on to our CD changer. And with the CLD-AM90, you'll see here that cord protruding out of the back here. It just does not have a removable power cord. There's our date tag and serial number. There's no protruding box coming out of the back either. We have some control inputs and outputs here. So this is so you can network all of your Pioneer components together and use one remote to control them and kind of logically control things like this CD deck synchro. You could basically hit a few buttons and it'll start the CD and start recording at the same time onto a cassette perhaps. Maybe even a CD recorder. Haven't tried that, but that may be a thing as well. So we have control in and out for that. Then over here we have that same VHF adapter output configuration with our composite video, mono audio, and a DC power output jack. And then over here we have our audio out and video out, and we get 2 sets of each of those. So much simpler setup, no digital audio output whatsoever. I find it to be kind of random with Pioneer and their Laserdisc players. Some of them have an optical out and some of them do not. And now's the time in our little demonstration as to picture quality. So I'm going to play you a clip from the CLD-M90, and then I'll play that same clip from the CLD-D406, and I'm going to play a clip from the Pioneer Laser Optics 88 demonstration Laserdisc, and I'll let you decide which video quality looks better. Well guys, that will conclude our little video today about these 2 wonderful Laserdisc players. I'm a huge fan of Laserdisc or any optical format, any disc format, to be quite honest with you. I like having all the formats here in my collection. You can see that in a video I made recently. I mean, I can support HD DVD, I can support a little bit of VHD, pardon the dust. and DVD, Blu-ray, all those playable here on my home theater system. I also ran across this at Half Price Books, and it was $4, and it's the DiscoVision version of the movie Love Story, which was introduced in 1970. And can you believe that Laserdisc has been around since 1978? Look at the date on this guy, 1978. So originally it came out as DiscoVision, later became Laservision, and then eventually was coined as Laserdisc. So hopefully you've enjoyed this video, that we've a little adventure into these two players we've had together. Please subscribe, share this video with about 300 of your friends, and if you want to be a Patreon patron, please do so. You can see all of my wonderfully faithful Patreon patrons in the subject, or not the subject, in the description below of this video. We hope you enjoyed it today, and we will see you next time for a couple of reviews of some new technology that has arrived on the front porch of the Databits channel.